You don't understand how cool this is. Excuse me, but if you got away into Asgard, where's that idea been this whole duckin' while? Just thinking about how crazy it is that the prophecy in God of War really did change when Kratos said we got kids and shut now. Had a whole convo about it in a group, and it makes sense. Thor for real could have bodied Kratos, which doesn't even sound right in a sentence, but it's true, and he didn't. If you ask me, personally, I think the prophecy changed the second he dropped the hammer. Don't believe me? Believe him. Odin, left. Ain't no way he finna duck up the prophecy. Odin, right. 1 second later, thud. He ducked up the prophecy. Greece, North Europe, China. Go to another place, there's already people in this place. Joe Budden reveals that he auditioned to play Kratos in the upcoming live-action God of War series on Amazon. Kratos in Alfheim, do not mistake my silence for lack of grief. Mourn how you wish, leave me to my own. How Kratos generally mourned in the Greek saga. Man makes so many your mother jokes it gets him killed. Modi Thorson, age 2496, was killed by Atreus Lorfizu, but he will walk free due to his father being Kratos. The final boss looking at my overleaved character after I've finished all the side quests. Mimic but this particular one. I heard you did battle with beasts, scoundrels, princesses, the undead, mimic automations, and history's greatest musician. That's not true, is it? When you play a fighting game for the first time, random bullshit go. POV. Your son randomly turns into a bear. Shorty vs Giant. Live Kratos and Atreus reaction. POV. You're playing God of War on your shutty PS4. Odin. My son has returned. I bring the destruction of Asgard. I could fix her, but whatever the duck is wrong with her is honestly way hotter. Thor. The cooler Thor. Thor, you seem like a small and breedable person. Boy, we are in Roblox, boy. I threw my panties at him, and he kept explaining God of War lore. Dear Jin City is cool. Remain pure. God of War, Ragnarok, Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy. Kratos during cutscenes. Kratos during gameplay. Kratos opening a chest. Kratos opening a large door. When you and your friends all have different styles, so each game lobby looks like this. No, Kratos can't be in Fortnite. It would be very disrespectful for the character. Kratos in his own games. Greek gods. We have you 4-1. Kratos. I like those odds. When you start unboxing your new PS5, when the alarm goes off and you wake up. Why the duck are the developers implying the Kratos I looked up to as a badass icon of masculinity in my youth was just a reckless ace-hole. When you're playing God of War and your brother goes, hey, it's the dude from Fortnite. Game Awards 2022. God of War, Ragnarok, Elden Ring, Overwatch 2, Stray. Me, playing God of War. Kid, hey, they copied that from Fortnite. Me, angry scream. People who've also played the God of War games. People who read the Percy Jackson books. People who played God of War. People who read Percy Jackson. Knowing the names of Greek gods. Maybe if I give him a below job, he will let me play God of War. Modern problems require modern solutions. Loki in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. God of War. Record of Ragnarok. Norse mythology. Teacher, today we'll be learning about Greek mythology. The kid who played every God of War game. You're in the presence of some pretty intense wisdom right now. Teacher, today we'll learn about Greek mythology. The kid who reads Percy Jackson. The kid who plays God of War. The kid who family practice Greek mythology. Teacher, today we are going to learn about ancient Greece. The kid who read all the Percy Jackson books. The kid who's into zodiac signs. The kid that plays God of War. I don't understand. I see a PS4 with God of War in the background. How is it possible that they have time for ducking? Zeus, god of the gods. Poseidon, god of the sea. Kratos. Breaking news. Man literally too angry to die. Billy, what have you done? That Kratos man is from Fortnite. Get behind me, Billy. Man. Woman. Right. Bulk. Poor. Rich. Asian. People who think Kratos can be defeated in close combat. Wheels on shopping carts be like. They really added this mother ducker in God of War Ragnarok. Atheists, when they see it's called God of War and not Science of War. When you quit being an editor for any girl with an OnlyFans, I have lived in the shadow of the gods for long enough. When you're about to go on to Pornhub and you see the Bulk Widow poster at the corner of your eye, I'm no longer your monster. They ruined my series into something that it isn't. A boring walking simulator that soy boy beta clocks. Game critics who snack at every video game ever. Retards who don't know what a good game is. And Redditors religiously worship. Honestly, whoever thinks like this needs to be ducking in the ace with a wooden dodo studded with nails. The actual story behind Kratos outdoes here. And the PS4 God of War is literally the best in the series. At least he had some character other than I'm King Karen. Further proof that Redditors heavily worship overrated garbage walking simulators with hardly any gameplay whatsoever. This is why I hate video games. It appeals to the male fantasy. Odin is with us. Are you sure about that? Boys, don't make me come down there. Don't make me come up there. Kratos, when those late nights of nailing Faye until she mercilessly moans Ghost of Sparta, your time has come are just right. Kratos waking up to lightning after sleeping for a few years. Call him by his name. Call him boy. You are not ready, boy. Change my mind. This spirit needs help, and in return, he says he can let us talk to Mama Gay. What have I told you, boy? We have no time for this nonsense. You must learn focus. Stay on the path we have set. Now, back to the task at hand. I've found 3 out of 4 toy boats. I just need 1 more to complete the set. You know, I've heard that sacrificing 6 phoenix feathers to the gods will increase your magical ability. Hey, Chop, yeah. I can't wait for the next God of War game, where Kratos discovers he has 10 more children after all those Lex mini games in the other 6 God of War games, and they all combine forces to destroy Thor. Boy, that's a ridiculous name, Kratos. What about Atreus, or boy? He has battled the very gods themselves. There is nothing he fears. He runs from no foe, no matter how formidable, until Santa Monica Studio and Sony Interactive Entertainment present God of Warner Brothers. Since everyone is making the connections and jokes, I had to put in my support too. Milky butch tights ha ha baba babby fat udders mommy yummy milky. Bulk Friday. My wallet. Video games. I prefer the real God of War. I said the real God of War. Perfection. Kratos saying boy. Arthur Morgan saying boy. You. God of War. Me. An intellectual. Harry Potter. Hogwarts mystery. RTX off. RTX on. My wedding. God of War. Ragnarok release. I knew this fight felt familiar for some reason. Best things about God of War 2018 in order. 1. Kratos saying boy. 2. The combat. 3. Kratos saying boy. 4. The story. 5. The visuals. 6. Kratos saying boy. These donuts are great. Boy-filled are my favorite. God of War Kratos actor Joseph Gatt arrested for alleged sexually explicit communication with a minor, and Kronos gets a baby. Kronos. This is some serious gourmet shit. Odin is with us. Not for long. PlayStation. What do you want? Gamers. Please Spider-Man. Please Spider-Man. Please. PlayStation. You get Wolverine. Gamers, okay. Not bad. PlayStation and Spider-Man 2. Gamers, oh my god. PlayStation, yes. God of War. God of War is ending its Norse story because we didn't want to spend 15 years on a trilogy. Cory Barlog explains why God of War Ragnarok will end the current storyline. God of War's director says Sony Santa Monica decided to conclude the Norse story with the next entry in the series, God of War Ragnarok, because of the amount of time it would require to make a trilogy of games. Kratos does a quick turn to avoid Sigrun's blinding attack. Mimir in the back. Are you going to sleep? Yes I am. Now shut up. In the God of War universe, Loki is technically a Greek god. First person in other games. First person in God of War 3. God of War. God of War follows Kratos and his son Atreus as they take on a journey of emotional growth and closure. Throughout their time together, they learn more about each other, what makes a man, and the trials of parenthood. PC version reviewed. Food for thought. With plenty of settings, God of War can look great on the PC. Battles have a nice weight to them, although they begin to feel very repetitive. Kratos is a gruff and distant father, which may not satisfy everyone looking for a loving game. Kratos ripping monsters in half. Kratos opening a chest. Players after seeing Atreus go from not being able to shoot a deer 8 feet away to precisely shooting a Norse god multiple times while falling through the air. I raised that boy. How God of War should have ended. Published on November 3rd, 2011. Hey, are you sleeping? Yes, now shut up. Kratos never called Mimi by his name once. Me closing God of War after dying to Sigrun all night on the easiest difficulty. Duck you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Did you know? Former WWE pro wrestler and martial artist Shad Gaspard was digitally scanned to be the new look and body of Kratos in God of War 2018. He also performed a large majority of Kratos hand-to-hand combat motion capture actions as well as fights. My son in 2050. Dad, what is your favorite god from the Olympus? Me, Kratos. My son, but Kratos wasn't a go. Me, watch your tone boy. God of War 5 soon to be released. Kratos will probably die in this one. Kratos every time he kills someone with a good weapon or item. After all, why not? Why shouldn't I keep it? What if Zelda had an amazing cinematic story? What if Last of Us had incredible skill-based combat? What if Uncharted somehow put all the villains in context? What if Dark Souls was approachable and clear? The answer to all of these questions and more is God of War. Kratos being able to run at Mach speed at any given moment in the game. Kratos going 0.1 miles per hour while carrying his dying son to Freya. Kratos versus the Titans. Kratos versus the gods. Kratos versus a chest. Shock arrows. Me. Light arrows. Doctor, your eyes transplant was successful. Card declines. Doctor, L3 plus R3. One will protect you, the other one wants to kill you. Choose wisely. Kratos is gonna die. God of War community. God of War community. God of War community. Kratos, I'm gonna flip the temple. Mimi, what?